Hey everyone, and welcome to the first Rooted Online. Well, I wonder if you ever find yourself sitting and feeling a little bit stressed, so you put some music on. Maybe it's a Spotify playlist, maybe it's a YouTube channel that you really love listening to. Music can really help us when we're feeling a bit anxious. Well, what a weird week it has been. This time 2 weeks ago, we'd have been at Rooted. I'd have been checking you all in together as you queued up outside, making sure there were games to play, crafts to do, stopping people wrestling each other or tackling too hard in football. You'd have enjoyed some tuck and been happy to share it with your mates who didn't have any money that week. But now it feels like loads of the things we think we need to have a good life are things we can't have. You can't meet your mates at the park unless you live in the same house. We can't go on holiday or even go and hang out down the shops. We can't just pop for a can and some crisps whenever we feel like it. We can't even get to see our grandmas and granddads. It feels like the coronavirus has stolen things from us, robbed us of a great life, cut us off from good things like family and friends and freedom. It's scary, isn't it? It's easy to be anxious and worried about the future. Well, I don't want to pretend we can carry on as normal. I think it's going to be really difficult for a few weeks. But God isn't silent when things are difficult. He hasn't just popped off and left us alone. There's a whole songbook in the Bible called the Psalms, and I think it's where we get loads of advice on how to talk to God from really wise and honest people from the past. Some of them shouted at God, some of them asked him why hard things were happening, and we're going to look at one of these psalms or songs each week for the next few weeks. Well, where better to start than at the beginning with Psalm 1, the first song. This is what it says: Great blessings belong to those who don't listen to evil advice, who don't live like sinners, and who don't join in with those who make fun of God. Instead, they love the Lord's teachings and think about them day and night. So they grow strong, like a tree planted by a stream, a tree that produces fruit when it should and has leaves that never fall. Everything they do is successful. But the wicked are not like that. They are like chaff that the wind blows away. When the time for judgment comes, the wicked will be found guilty. Sinners have no place among those who do what's right. The Lord shows his people how to live, but the wicked have lost their way. I don't know if you notice trees very often, but this time of year they are really changing. The leaves are coming out, the buds are starting to grow. We've got a blossom tree in our garden and it's covered in pink petals. When the wind blows, it looks like it's snowing. The flowers show that it's going to be fruit later on in the year. And even when Storm Dennis came and blew down our fence, the tree stayed up. It blew about a bit, but it's got deep roots, so it's strong. And that is what God says someone is like who trusts in Him. Like a tree planted by a stream, with loads of water going to its roots. A tree covered in fruit and with leaves that never fall off. Later in the Bible, it tells us some of the fruit people will produce, but it isn't cherries or peaches. It says this: But the fruit that the Spirit produces is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. It's pretty great fruit. It would be amazing to be like that tree, producing all that. But the song also talks about wicked people. It says that they are like chaff. That's the stuff around the wheat when it gets dried and sorted. It's like straw, it just blows away. Well, I wonder if you've got angry about anything to do with coronavirus. I know I have. At the people that didn't listen when they were told to go home. People who took everything off the shelf so old people couldn't get what they want. Selfish, and it's greedy. Well, the good news is that God says here a time of judgment is coming. God will find guilty people guilty, and they will be punished. That's good news, isn't it? But really, when I'm angry at other people, I need to remember there are times when I haven't listened to what I'm told to do, or I've been selfish and taken more than my fair share. So really, I'm due a punishment and not a reward. Right now, it feels like coronavirus is the worst thing ever. It's taking away things that we love, cutting them off from us. But this song says, one day, that people who reject God will be cut off. Not just from their mates or from McDonald's, but from God Himself, the one who made every good thing that we love. So what should we do? Well, just after that bit where it talked about those great fruit, it says this: Those who belong to Jesus have crucified their sinful self. They've given up their old selfish feelings and the evil things they wanted to do. We get our new life from the Spirit, so we should follow the Spirit. Anyone who trusts in Jesus, well, it's like their old wicked self is dead. It's been killed. When he died on the cross, it died with him. And they have a new life now, a new life given by God, a fruitful life. Well, the song ends by giving us a choice. Do we want to be someone who trusts in God, like a strong tree? Well, the song says God will show us how to live a good life, the best life. Tune in next week to see what song is next in our Psalms playlist.